Today I'm going over the best tips and tricks that I have found when going up against the Richtofen boss fight, the augment setups, the weapon loadouts, the best practices, but most importantly a brand new discovery that I made that makes the second stage of Richtofen uber easy. Starting with Aether Shroud, Extended is the go-to that everybody has been saying, and that might be the safe choice here, but with this brand new strategy that I'm gonna go over, 2 charges of Aether Shroud might be more viable and safer, depending on how you can enact the strategy that I'll show you. Just make sure you don't have on Void Sheath, and either Burst Dash or Group Shroud is what I normally stick with, should be fine. We do still want to build around Aether Shroud, so Supercharged is going to be the pick that I recommend for Speed Cola. And I'm going to try Fast Pitcher, although I usually do Quick Swap. For Vulturade, Fetid Upgrade was the difference maker when it came to getting my Aether Shroud back in between rounds. And with the new strategy that I'm about to show you, Picky Eater is all but essential. For Quick Revive, I know we all love Dying Wish, but a lot of Richtofen's attacks forego Dying Wish, so I have switched to Equivalent Exchange. This does get rid of your perks, but if you buy Jug and PhD first, you still have at least somewhat of a fighting chance, and that might just be the difference maker. Additionally, the electrical attacks that the Uberklauses and Richtofen does seem to ignore armor, so putting on Probiotic is just the wise choice. And make sure you have PhD Slider and Tribologist, they're basically crutch perks at this point. I like Vulnerabine for elemental pop so I can do more elemental damage to the Uberklauses, and please, if you're going to get Sam, Richtofen, any other boss, put on Double Standard, it is game changing. And personally, I like Double Time over Double or Nothing. And if you are going to utilize Aether Shroud, which we probably will, Stalker with Stamina Up is an amazing underrated augment. And this is what I use for Deadshot Deadhead for further increasing critical damage, and depending on the game, I'll use Dead Break or Dead Draw. I'm really feeling Dead Draw with the setup that I've got right now, so that's what I'm going with. And then Death Perception, I've got Critical Eye and Extra Change. For our loadout, this is the DM10 that I'm currently running in this match, although the recoil on this can be pretty bad, so you might want to switch out the suppressor for a compensator, or if you don't mind a little bit less DPS, you could go with Recoil Springs. This is the most recent class that I beat Richtofen with, the ABR, the brand new assault rifle. That rapid fire is key. I've seen a lot of people run the Maelstrom, and this is exactly how I would build it for this boss fight. And I know the GPR is also highly recommended, and this is how I would build it for this boss fight too. For our Gobblegum, Power Cake, Arsenal Accelerator, Raindrops, Idolize, Shields Up, all fantastic choices. Because yes, this strategy is a modified version of the Aether Shroud strategy, but there is something I discovered to make it even easier. So let's show you what I mean. Now it is worth mentioning, if you are using save and quit like I am, you can only save and quit once per round. So like I just loaded into round 37 here, I can't save and quit until round 38. So while I could go in the boss fight right now, I want to progress around first and then go in the boss fight, so that way I have save and quit available just in case I want to practice a strategy, test out other strategies, or if you went down and you just want to try again. And there seems to be a bug when doing this in the Reckoning, specifically when you do the last step of the Easter egg within the Easter egg portal room right there. Sometimes it will lock you out of the portal if you come back from a save file. I think that was fixed literally today, but what I've been doing to counteract that is I haven't been doing the little lever lockdown until I turn around, and that's the round that I'm going to save and quit on. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So I'm going to make sure to progress around outside of that portal room, just like so, and now that it's the next round we have save and quit available, I will then come into this room and then start this last lever step. But again, like I said, that might have been fixed today in a patch, but I did want to include it here just in case. Also, what you might want to do is you might want to use C4 and place that C4 on one of those free power-up drops within the map, either a full power, max armor, max ammo, insta-kill, whichever one you want, so that way you can use it during the boss fight. But of course, like I said, we're taking on Richtofen, so we've got to help Sam. And I think you guys know what to do for the elevator, so we're going to skip all the way to the Uber Richtofen. And with the easy part out of the way, I want to show you something that has literally been patched moments ago. well, moments ago, like just as I started recording this video. If you use an RCXD, you used to be able to do incredible damage to Uber Richtofen here. Shout out to Hugo on the COD Zombie spreadsheet Discord, because he's the one that told me about this. I think they literally halved the damage because he said they were dealing like 24,000 damage to Uber Richtofen, and that's literally half that. But I still say this is a pretty easy strategy to get him down to, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of his health. It takes a while, but at least it's safe. Definitely worth mentioning if you're struggling with this fight. Just be aware that you don't have many invincibility frames as soon as you spawn in from it, so just always position yourself in a good way to run away. But again, one RCXD, he's down 1/3 of his health. Now from here, you obviously want to target his uber weak points, those shoulder pads. And the way I do that best is by jumping on top of these air vents. That way I can just get a better look at the battleground, and I'm not waiting for him to have a line of sight with me. I also try to stick towards the edges because a lot of times the electrical attacks that they do will fly over the edge. It's really nice. But you might notice that the DM10 has quite a bit of recoil, and if I had a bigger desk and a bigger mouse pad, I might be able to control it for a little bit longer, or you might just want to use a different weapon. It's all up to your preference, especially after the strategy that I'm about to show you. But you can see with Vulnera Bean and Cryo Freeze, which is the ammo mod you want to run for this boss fight, you can see that they really take care of those commando Klauses in like 1 or 2 bullets, even on round 38. Oh, and once Richtofen is halfway, he will spawn in a regular Uber Klaus. If you kill that Uber Klaus, it will spawn in another one. So it is best to just ignore that until Richtofen is about 20-25% dead. Once you kill the Uber Klaus when Richtofen only has like 20-25% of his health left, then the Uber Klaus doesn't spawn back in. Little details, but they can make the difference. Now it looks like we've taken off both of Richtofen's shoulder pads, which means that his main body is now a weak point, and like the actual Richtofen body is a critical point. So again, if you have a more accurate weapon, that's exactly where you want to aim, and tac stance really ain't half bad for this stage too. But I will note that his arms, you can see I'm getting armor damage, and that's because his literal arms, like the robot arms, are armored, and you can shoot them off, but it's just more important to shoot his body instead of his arm right there. You can kind of see. But now you can see Richtofen is pretty weak. I'm gonna start getting that Uber Klaus dead. Get Richtofen weakened even more. Oh, we're close to game time, boys. We're close to game time. Now, once you get Richtofen weak, you want to be very careful where you finally kill him into his final form, because it's gonna happen really fast. So I like to move him around here, and you want to make sure no zombies are nearby because we are going to be using smoke grenades. Let's pop them out of the suit, and then I'm going to throw a smoke grenade. Make sure no zombies are in the smoke grenade either, and take a look at this, dude. We can get him. It works like an ether shroud. We can do this. We can, okay, now once he's on us, now we've got to go. But now you hear that? His jetpack, that first smoke, 10 times out of 10 I've done this, if I hit the smoke correctly, will get him to do this jetpack attack immediately after, and boom, I picked up another smoke from that picky eater. And now what you can do if you're nervous about throwing smokes, that's perfectly okay. Watch where he's gonna come down at. See, he's coming down right here. Use the Ether Shroud strat now. Now that he's got a lot of his health already taken away, you can shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. Look at how easy that was. Look at how easy that was. No Gobblegums needed. You do want to wait for your Ether Shroud to run out before you start killing zombies. And this would be a good point to use that C4. Use a Gobblegum for that power keg. Or like you see right here, oh boy, this is gonna be hard to do on round 38. It was a lot easier to do on an early round. This fetid upgrade is great for getting your field upgrade back. So like I said, it's technically possible to do it without Ether Shroud if you get lucky with your smokes, if you throw multiple smokes really accurately. But I just think for this guide, I'm not gonna make the statement that you don't need Ether Shroud, although Ether Shroud is going to be very, very useful. Oh, get out of his range, and here he comes once again. He's going down there. Watch this. Even though we're far, far away, we go inside the smoke. Even though we're far away, he will ignore us. Look at that. Now the smoke doesn't last forever, so you might have a little bit of time where you're a little nervous. You can throw a smoke grenade. Boom, there he is, and go to town at him again. Look, he's right underneath you. Oh, that might be bad. There goes his jetpack. He's reloading the Wonder Off. He's immune again. Look at that. 2 smokes, no Ether Shroud required. Let's go. There's another Fetid upgrade. We're 100% going to get it, but this is also why I'm not going to guarantee Ether Shroud, because your parting gift is not going to guarantee smoke grenades either. So I would 100% run Ether Shroud just to kind of mitigate the need for smoke grenades. And there's some weird stuff with smoke grenades. And I should mention that's also why I've got high contrast mode on. Good smoke grenade there, Donut's great. High contrast mode just lets you see him a little bit better through the smoke grenade. I know depth perception can too, but that's okay. That's okay. Now, if you throw a smoke grenade, I see a lot of people get this wrong. If you throw a smoke grenade and there's a zombie already in it, it's not gonna hide you. If you throw a smoke grenade and Richtofen already sees you, he's still gonna see you. So there is a pretty high skill gap to these smoke grenades. You have to make sure you're hidden. Oh, he's back. Okay, we gotta lock in. You gotta make sure you're hidden before anybody gets a line of sight on you. And for this one, you might want to play it safe with your Ether Shroud first, especially because you don't know where he might come back. So he's coming back over there. We'll Ether Shroud. For some reason, I can't aim down sights. Why can't I aim down sights? Maybe I was shocked? Okay, but there we go. We're getting excellent damage with this DM10. We're getting him really, really low. I'm gonna hide a little bit here. Try to do this last little bit with the smoke grenade, right? Boom, hidden in the smoke. Where's Richtofen at? He's way across the way. That's okay. We got him, dude. That was so easy. No Gobblegums, a little Ether Shroud here and there, but there you go. Take that, Richtofen. And come on, surely these tips are worth liking and subscribing for. Like I said, throwing that smoke grenade is huge. There have been many runs where I have thrown the smoke grenade, thought I was clouded, and Richtofen still sees me, or a zombie still in there, and it's annoying. So practice those smoke grenade throws. Make sure no one's around and you kind of break line of sight with Richtofen. I would still recommend the Ether Shrouds. Maybe we could do the 2 charges instead of the 1 charge now, depending on your comfortability. But that is now like the 5th time I've beat Richtofen with this strategy. It still doesn't make him a fair or balanced boss fight, but hey, maybe this will put you over the edge to actually completing it. And if you want even more tips and tricks about the brand new Reckoning map, be sure to check out this video and stay beautiful.